PushGapRadio.com in Duncanville, Dallas, Fort Worth. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Shaka 4-1, along with Jackie O. What's poppin', little mama?
Hey, everybody. Welcome to this week's edition of the show. It is going to be another fun-filled, exciting.
It's going to be fun-filled yet and again. That was Donovan Livingston, a Harvard graduate you just heard speaking. Congratulations to all the graduates out there.
Yes.
Donovan secured a Master's of Education, attends Harvard, said he was glad to be a student speaker. His speech was entitled Liftoff, describes the difficulties that having historically faced Black Americans in seeking an education. He spoke of broken promises. He told BuzzFeed that he was grateful for the opportunity to get up and say what he had to say. You know, that Black students go through quite a bit getting their degree and whatnot, and then getting out there trying to secure employment.
Oh, it definitely is not easy, especially when a lot of our schools are not equipped like they should be. So they definitely have a lot of challenges. A lot of their mothers and fathers are, you know, at work and not able to help them with their homework and different things like that, and don't have the money that, you know, some other students are afforded. So yes, and whether they have an easy time or not, every child should be celebrated once they come to that milestone, regardless of whether it's from kindergarten, 8th grade, or whatever the case may be. And while we're speaking and congratulating all the graduates, let me send out a special congratulations to my graduate. My grandson, Portland, graduated from 8th grade.
That's right.
Going on into the 9th grade, so congratulations. I'm very
Had them tight britches on going to the prom.
Hey, that's his style. He was Hermes back.
Well, at least he wasn't sagging, Mom.
No, he definitely wasn't sagging. You may have had a little time trying to get him down, but no, he wasn't sagging.
And speaking of graduating, Nyree Holmes was tossed out of his graduation for wearing a symbol of his culture. Had a kente cloth on. Last week's show, we reported the young man who was valedictorian because he had a beard. They wouldn't let him walk the stage. So, Nyree Holmes, what is it about African-American students that seem to get so much resistance when you find out they're this smart and they're this talented, man? I think it's something other than what they're calling it.
I mean, it's just crazy. This child was a Black merit scholar, and they had asked him 3 times to remove his kente cloth. He refused to do it. And he thought that everything was okay as he walked up to go get his diploma.
That's right.
He was shaking hands and smiling and everything. And then when he got to the bottom of the stairs, he noticed there were 3 sheriffs standing there waiting on him. And they told him to come go with them. And they escorted him and his father out of the venue. When they tried to get back in to get his diploma, they wouldn't even let him back in to get his diploma. He finally got in because a Black security guard let him through an exit door, and he was able to retrieve his diploma. But he said all he wanted to do was represent his ancestors because he didn't feel like he had any kind of connection with them otherwise. And that's all he was wanting to do, was just to represent his ancestors.
That is truly sad. Time now for your PushGapRadio.com celebrity birthdays. May 30th, CeeLo Green will be 42 years old. May 30th, rapper Remy Ma turns 35. Remy Ma, that's why you're here. Actor Ralph Carter, who played Michael on Good Times, turns 55 May 30th. And Chicago Bear great Gail Sayles will be 73 years old. May 31st, Clint Eastwood turns 86. Actress Brooke Shields will be 51. Football star Joe Namath turns 73 on May 31st. June 1st, the greatness that is Morgan Freeman will be 79. June 2nd, Wayne Brady turns 44. June 3rd, TV host Anderson Cooper will be 49. Singer Life Jennings will be 43. From Gary, Indiana, singer Denise Williams turns 66. And June 4th, Magic Johnson's son E.J. Johnson will be 24. Evangelist Joyce Myers will be 73 years old. And actor Keith David turns 60. He does the voiceover for the Navy commercials. And on June 4th, singer I'll Be Sure will be 48 years old. Any birthdays?
No, not this time around. I did hear a couple of molesters and the ones that you just...
Yeah, you say you heard some purrs down.
Happy birthday to everybody else, though.
Happy birthday to everyone else. Real quick, Prince, baby. What Madonna did was an atrocity, man. You just took this man's legacy and beat it down. Now, I told you on last week that I thought that Lenny Kravitz should have done the dang on tribute to him. Now, what a lot of people are saying is Stevie Wonder should get another shot. Sheila E. definitely needs to be in. D'Angelo did a great tribute. Okay. Morris Day and the Time. Where were they? Okay. One of Prince's greatest creations, man. Carlos Santana, Lenny Kravitz, Janelle Monáe, Bruno Mars should all be in the Prince tribute. You said that's coming down on BET when they have their award show, correct?
Yes. After, I mean, I looked at it and it was horrible. And, you know, I love Madonna. I love Stevie Wonder. But they did not do Prince any justice. She, first of all, sang a song that Prince wrote for Sinead O'Connor. If you're going to do a tribute to Prince, why are you not singing something that he wrote and sung for, and he sung it?
So what did you think about the tribute?
It was horrible. And then Stevie, and I've never thought a performance by Stevie was horrible before. But even, I mean, she was so bad that she made him sound bad.
Till he came out with Madonna.
I don't care. It was bad. It was bad. It was bad. And then BET. When it was over, BET came out and they sent this tweet out. Right. Yes, we saw that, and don't worry, we got you.
We got you, man.
Which means that they're gonna come with a for real tribute to Prince.
And I'm not knocking Madonna. Don't get me wrong, you know. But on the same token, man, I mean, it should have been done better. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this: you should have consulted some black people, okay, instead of you jumping in there doing what you did. When we come back, we're going to tell you about BPEN, the first black television station here in beautiful Dallas-Fort Worth. Also, the little boy who got the gorilla killed. I'm very upset about that. And oh boy, had a snake biting this Joe Louis dog. We're going to tell you all about that. Also, coming up at the top of the hour is the Jackie O Entertainment Report. Never average, never mediocre. Online, on point, and on the money. In Duncanville, City of Champions, Dallas-Fort Worth, we're PushGapRadio.com.
It's all about Dallas.
PushGapRadio.com. In Duncanville, Dallas-Fort Worth. I'm sitting here holding on to my Joe Louis mind, because if you ain't heard yet about the guy that was sitting on the toilet in Thailand, that a python came up through the toilet and locked his jaws on his Joe Louis while he was handling his business. Bloody bathroom pictures back up his account, man. I mean, there was blood everywhere. It was a python, and he had to remove. His wife helped him, brought in a knife and a rope, and they had to pry his jaws open. It took him 30 minutes, man. Oh, my God, can you imagine?
I can't imagine, and I don't even have one.
Cramped down on your Joe Louis mind? Because you told me you thought he was standing up. There's just no way that a snake got you standing up.
Well, it's kind of odd for me to think of a man sitting down TTing, but I guess he was doing something else, and you know, but
he was taking a gangster.
Yeah, well, they would have been coming to get me. I would have been passed out, fighting it for 30 minutes, and then his wife had to come help him. I love you, but I'm sorry, I can't help you with a snake.
She's going. I
have to go next door and call 911 to come help you.
What the snake is holding on to, you're going to need that later.
Not at that point, I wouldn't. And a python, that's a big, huge.
Oh my God!
Snake.
First responders took apart the toilet with the snake still inside. The snake was later released out in the wild. Emergency workers told him. The doctor said if the bite gone into his urinary tract, there would have been a big problem, man. Oh my God. I just imagine that, because there are times I've sat on the crapper and I thought about, you know, what if a snake ever came? Because they've had that in New York.
They've had it here. It happened to a friend of mine. Yes, right here in the Metroplex. She lived in an apartment complex across the street from the old Red Center. Right. When I was working for Southwest Airlines. And she came to work one day, and lo and behold, a snake came up her toilet, and the maintenance man had to come get him. But it does happen. The maintenance man probably slid the snake. I would have had a heart attack. That you know how I am with snakes. I can only imagine. I'm sitting here like Michael Jackson now, holding on to mine. Because there's just no way in the world. People have them for pets too. Because another friend of mine that I worked with at Southwest, her niece was dating a guy that owned like a 9-foot python that they had for a pet. They would sleep with this thing in the bed with them. And he woke up one night and the snake had, of course not us, And well, but then we do have snakes too. But this particular snake started wrapping around her. And he had a hard time getting it off of her to let her go. But I'm thinking, you know, my friend, she was like, well, he thinks it's funny when you go over to visit and he'll take it let it out of its habitat or whatever. So it's slithering around the floor while you in the thing. But I would never go visit someone I knew had a snake.
Speaking of animals, I am truly outraged at the little boy, 4-year-old boy, Cincinnati Zoo, they got the gorilla killed.
How you gonna get mad at the baby? The child is 4.
I'm mad at his mama. The gorilla dead because mama wouldn't keep up with her child. Come on, man. You're not watching this kid and he gets in the gorilla pen. The gorilla had only been there across the moat. 17-year-old gorilla.
You don't know if she was watching a child or not. You could. It only takes a split second.
His name was Harambe. So? He was one of the brothers. Okay. He hung out at the Harambe Festival and you know, things like that.
You know what, you could send some flowers to his little
but I'm sad about that, man. Now they said they didn't use a tranquilizer because that would have taken too long. So the little boy was in the pen for what, 10 minutes?
Yeah, and then he was like, then the little boy was standing there and the gorilla got the little boy and brought him closer. Well, I mean, it wasn't being violent, but you never know when it would decide to get violent.
They say he dragged him around. There were 2 other female gorillas in the enclosure.
Yeah. I mean, it was like being a mother figure, I guess, in a way, but they couldn't take chances. This was a small child. It was either the gorilla or the child. And so you are sad that they protected this child?
I'm sad that the gorilla was killed. He wasn't doing anything to anybody. He's minding his business. Okay? And you could tell he was black because just as soon as some little white kid got around, they had to put him down. And his name is Harambe, so you might want to take that into account.
We're gonna need
but you. But now the gorilla's dead because you don't keep up with your kid. You don't keep up with your child, now the gorilla's dead.
It wasn't the fact that the mother wasn't keeping up with her child. Again, it only takes a split second. She could have been looking down in her purse to get something to wipe the child's nose, for all you know.
And he climbed into the gorilla cage.
Well, he didn't climb into the gorilla cage. It's not that easy.
My old man would have told me when he called down, if he don't kill you, I'm going to beat the hell out you when you come back up here. Okay? I miss those days. Okay? He should beat the brakes off that kid.
Says he who never had knees in his pants.
The gorilla's dead.
Hyperactive.
Didn't mess with anyone.
Well, and they made sure he didn't mess with the little boy. So.
It is truly sad. Twitter loosens up its 140 character limit. They're getting rid of that. You know that the GIFs and the photos and the videos, they take up like 24 characters. But now you'll be able to do that without that bothering you at all or coming into play or anything like that. Because the other day you were talking about the reason you don't do Twitter because you have so much to say. It is more than 140 characters, and I can testify to that. Much as you talk, then you would have more to say.
That's not the pot calling the kettle black.
Than 140 characters. Now, what they say is the reasoning is that people will add more photos and videos to their post if they no longer soak up 24 characters by using the particular video. You'll also be able to retweet. You're going to be able to quote retweet and share things that you had already put out. Twitter is a global cultural and political phenomenon with more than 300 million users, man.
And they just recently hired their first black executive at Twitter as well, female. Yeah.
But it's about time.
It is about time. And it is about time that they expanded that from the 140 characters.
So but you can't get your point across in 140 characters?
No, I can't. And they had to keep up with the times anyway because you have all the Snapchat and Instagram and blogs and Facebook. You have all these other entities out there now, and Twitter is pretty hot. So that's good. Kudos for them.
Ricky Williams is talking about getting into the bud game, dog. Ricky Williams say
he's been in the bud game. He's just going from smoking it to letting everybody else smoke it.
So what Ricky trying to do?
What he's going to do is he's going to start a gym that's going to be weed friendly, or what do they call it, cannabis friendly.
Yes.
And so people can go and work out, and they're going to have an environment where they can smoke if they want. They can have brownies after they work out.
In the gym.
And then it's like, okay, so isn't that kind of counterproductive? Because usually marijuana makes people want to eat. And if you're going to the gym to work out and get healthy, you're going to be counteracting yourself.
But sometimes that good green numbs you out. So instead of doing 3 sets now, you can do 4. Okay, so, I've heard, I've heard
that
what was going down with that. But Ricky Williams, he's doing the correct thing, because there was a guy that I had an article, and he was telling you about the 10 things you need to get involved in as the cannabis deal moves ahead. Okay, there are things you can look into getting into, like security and transportation and whatnot. The vending machines, you and I discussed that a year or so ago,
right,
about if you could find a company that was going to be dispensing dang on sacks of that loud like they doing Twinkies, Ho-Hos, and donuts, man, that you can make a killing.
Well, and a lot of celebrities get into it. Whoopi Goldberg just recently announced that she's getting into it.
Right.
And yeah, if you want to make money, and that's what a lot of our people don't do as far as
right,
our culture,
right,
is we don't invest. We don't go buy stocks. It's time to get educated. Just because we wasn't taught that doesn't mean that you can't learn it later.
Who's going to teach us?
Well,
as a black person, you were taught to go to school, get a degree, find a good job. Not go to school, get a degree, and build your own.
Hey, we Google and go on the internet for everything else. Let's do that. But did you know that there were some 420 games?
Really?
Yes. They have, every year they do it, and it's for potheads nationwide.
Yes.
It includes triathlons, mountain bike races, golf tournaments, and its signature 420-mile run.
When we come back, we're about to tell you about BPEN, that's Black Premier Entertainment Network, here in Dallas, Texas. Gonna get you caught up on the bangingest new TV show in the game, baby.
Station.
It's like FUBU, for us, by us. Also, at the top of the hour, it's the Jackie O Entertainment Report. We're the hottest thing in the game, baby. Just thought I'd tell you that. Or maybe I'm just trying to convince myself. Show 4-1 in the main event with Jackie O. It's the bangingest thing in the Ville. In Duncanville, Dallas, Fort Worth, we're PushGapRadio.com.
Hey, Dr. Ramsey and family. We'll be right back.
PushGapRadio.com. In Duncanville, City of Champions, Dallas, Fort Worth. Coming to the microphones at the worldwide studios of PushGapRadio.com. He is the CEO of BPEN, that's Black Premier Entertainment Network. Black Premier Entertainment Network is to be the voice of the people in the DFW Metroplex. They provide unique and clean programming to reflect the diversity of their community. Big PushGapRadio.com. Round of applause for Mr. Terry Lowe. Welcome to the program.
Thank you so much for having me.
What was the aha moment with BPEN? What made you guys decide to, along with Mr. C.W. Whitaker, they go back and forth on what his title is over there. But, say he does PR and he wears many hats. So we're just going to leave it at that. But what was the aha moment? What inspired you guys to want to go out and to create a local black station here in Dallas?
Well, it was actually a blessing.
Yeah.
You know, a blessing in disguise.
Get up on that mic for me.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear yourself?
Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. You know, I got a little bit of that from my daddy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But it was just a blessing, man.
Yes.
It happened at the spare moment. I used to do music. I was in the music field for years.
Right.
And one day I was approached by a blessed gentleman, truly a man of God. And he introduced me to television. And he introduced me to BPEN TV. When it was just color bars. And I remember...
Yeah, when it was just them bars, huh? Big
color bars.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know. And after that, man, it was just... it just like it all came to me. It just... I dedicated myself day and night to learning how to be able to engineer and how to be able to run the servers and everything else.
Right.
And it was just a blessing. It just came and... been in existence now going on 2 years.
Okay, you guys been rolling for 2 years.
Yeah, we've been rolling for 2 years, and just day by day, grind by grind, man. Just putting it together. God gives me something.
Right.
I look around and see, you know, exactly what it is that he's showing me. And it's funny because I get the vision, like I say, from him, and then I see it and say, okay, that's it. And then I'll move on it.
Right.
And once I move on it, thank God I have the people behind me to say, okay, whatever you want to do, let's make it happen.
Right.
You know.
So what direction are you guys headed in? What are you trying to accomplish with Black Premier Entertainment Network as you start to go forward? So you guys been around for 2 years now.
Yeah.
And you're trying to get the brand name out there and get it rocking and rolling and build that audience. But what direction are you headed in? What are you trying to accomplish with your station?
Well, what we're doing now is we're blessed. We have actually 63 channels in every major market in the United States.
Really now?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
And what they are now, they're just color bars.
Right.
You know, exactly what 30.8.
Holding your position.
Yeah, they're just holding. They wait.
Right.
You know, so we're building the programming here. Independent. We're looking to be able to have really shine the spotlight on independent producers.
Right.
Local talent in Dallas, because you made a major point. Who outside of Dallas cares about the talent? Nobody but Dallas.
Right.
Well, I was born and raised here.
Yeah.
And Mr. C.W. Whitaker also, and we love the music. And my father is, you know, part of the foundation laid here for the music.
Tell them who your dad is.
But Cousin Lenny. You know.
Cousin Lenny was on KKVA AM here in Dallas. And if you're not from Dallas-Fort Worth, you might not never know nothing about that, man. So you love what you do. Have you found your passion in doing that?
Yes, truly.
Yeah.
Truly. I thought music was my passion, which it still is, but this is something way beyond what even I ever, you know, what I expected. So we're just building as we go along. You know, it's funny because we have a vision of where we want to go with it, and that's being the voice of the community.
Exactly.
You know, and being able to help not only our people, but people, period. That's
right.
You know, that's love. We're love. You know, our frequency broadcasts love every day.
That's what that is. We need more love, baby.
Already. So we're bringing that back, and that's what we're doing. We're just trying to be able to. It's so funny because Shaq, there's no outlet for these independent producers. Man.
Exactly.
You know, as far as music and the artists, and then the videographers.
Yes.
They have no outlet. You know, so they're going over to, you know, so-called big stations or other stations.
Mainstream media. Yes.
And they're hitting them, man, they hit them so hard that they can't, a lot of them can't even rebound. So they put them in a position to where they're saying, some of them are saying, man, I don't want to cut this off and then go over here and do this.
Right.
When I can be able to, I got to hold on to this.
Right.
But I've heard what you guys are doing. Keep on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, okay, well, we love that. But later on, you know, we ran into a couple, they wanted to come and work with us, but they're stuck. You know, they're like, okay, man, like, once again, I don't want to make a mistake.
Right.
You know, I said, well, you know, your vision is your vision, your love is your love. God bless you with a beautiful talent. You better go ahead and before you linger on 10 or 15 years and be stuck in the same place.
Exactly.
You know, come on over here with us and work with us.
So what channel are you on here in Dallas?
We're on channel 30.8.
30.8.
Which and that's antenna-free television.
So how do people get connected to you guys if they wanted to perhaps run a show or to advertise? How would they go about doing that?
Well, they can contact Mr. C.W. Whitaker.
Okay.
And Mr. C.W. Whitaker can be able to connect them and let them know everything they need to know to be able to become part of the family.
Yes.
And where our website is on bpentv.us.
Say it again.
bpentv.us.
That's right.
And what are some of the shows that you guys currently have now in your lineup?
Right now, the shows that we're showing consistently, they actually have a time rotation. We have, of course, North Texas Zoom news. That's all the community news and everything that's happening in North Texas, period.
Right, right.
We have music through television. We have Real Talk Zone. We have the Chop Shop. And we also have Miss Esther Davis.
Yes.
And we have the Chris Howell Show.
Yes.
So those are the only shows right now that we have that are in constant rotation. They have a time slot.
And is it 24-hour programming, so there's not a certain time span that you're not on air?
Shutting down at midnight or something like that?
No, man. You never hear you never hear the crickets over there. Yeah, you never hear the crickets over there.
Good.
You know, we're 24/7.
And so I know there's a lot of, you know, like new artists and things like that that are wanting to get their videos out and to get their music played. And
local artists,
we have a lot of people that are playwrights
Oh,
here.
yeah.
So there are a lot of talent here in Dallas. So this is a great thing for you guys to be doing this for the community, and we do appreciate that. Now I do know that, you know, as well as the talent, we also have a lot of local entrepreneurs that are trying to get their businesses and things off the ground, and then some are established. So if they want to do advertising, what do they need to do?
Well, you can, like I said, you can contact Mr. C.W. Whitaker, and then you can visit our website, bpentv.us. You have the contact number there to be able to call.
Right.
And sometimes they get the answer, and sometimes you can just be able to leave a voicemail. But you can be able to leave all your contact information and everything, where we can be able to get in touch with your website and everything that you need. And you can contact Mr. C.W. Whitaker, and that's the plug right there.
Yes.
You know,
right.
With Mr. C.W. Whitaker, so I just move on out the way.
Mr. PR.
Yeah, quote unquote.
Mr. PR man.
Now, when we come back, there was a book written by Ronan Rowe, Have Gun Will Travel, the spectacular rise and violent fall of Death Row Records. What a lot of people don't know was that Terry Lowe was in the music game.
T-Lo.
Yes.
T-Lo was in the music game some time back. And so we're going to get you to stick and stay with us and give us a little bit of insight onto what was going on with Death Row. Keep it clean, okay?
Love to.
Make sure ain't nobody doing no snitching down around through here.
Was that Suge Knight? That was Suge Knight?
We come back. At the top of the hour is the Jackie O Entertainment Report. Also, we're going to get a little bit deeper into this book. Want you guys to go out and support, man. BPEN TV. Channel 30.8 if you have an antenna here in Dallas, Fort Worth. Need you to get out and support. Again, I'm one of those type of people. I flip channels a lot because I'm always looking for people who look like me. Your #1 urban internet station for talk, entertainment, and what used to be that blazing old school and hip-hop and R&B. Shout for one in the main event with Jackie O, with Mr. Terry Lowe in the building, and Mr. C.W. Whitaker. We the bangingest thing in the game. PushGapRadio.com in Duncanville, Dallas, Fort Worth. We hanging out with T-Lo, dog. So you said BPN has been around for 2 years.
BPEN.
BPEN. And where are you guys at on Facebook?
We're at,
Black Premier Entertainment.
Black Premier, yeah.
Black Premier Entertainment. The PR man got to tell the CEO where we at.
Black Premier Entertainment Network on Facebook.
So go look them up. If you live in DFW area, please go out and support. That's a problem we tend to have in our community. Now, what they're asking you to do is absolutely free. Right now, ain't nobody asked you to send no loot. We just want you to go experience the channel, okay? Give us some input into what you would like to see on a television station that was designed for you. Have Gun Will Travel, the spectacular rise and fall of Death Row Records, written by Ronan Rowe. So you say you were hanging out back in the Gap. Because when I moved down here back in the day, the DLC was popping. Jackie don't seem to remember the DLC. Funky, but then we don't want to get into copyright laws.
And we don't want to get into you trying to sing.
Shut up, Jackie. Nobody asked you nothing. You do what you do best. Chatty cat.
I'm high.
So what was going on back in the day, man, when you were hanging out with Suge Knight and Death Row and Snoop now, man? What kind of things were going on that you were coming across that you could tell on the air?
I can answer one thing that was going on that wasn't even there. I'm sorry, my bad.
That's Chatty Catty. Okay.
Throw that in.
Swears up and down she never has anything to say. But so what was what was that lifestyle like, man? What was this, back in the 90s?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
how'd you hook up with them cats?
Well, it's funny because you
get that mic for him.
You say funky enough. You're funky. But, anyway, me and I actually did the first rap record that was done here in Dallas in '85.
Really?
It was with the FBI.
Okay.
Out of Twilight Records.
Okay.
And so when we did that record. Actually, DOC, his name was Doc T at the time. He's on Channel 21. Him and Fresh K. So they were doing their commercials and stuff for Channel 21. And we got to meet and everything. So we actually met through Dr. Rock. Okay. Dr. Rock was actually the DJ for 104 at the time. Him and U-Shay was.
I remember U-Shay. That was your home.
Oh, man, U-Shay was a legend.
U-Shay was a legend. Lord rest his soul.
Network.
Yeah. Actually, they came out with Network, and he had, they did some rap on Network.
Right.
But we actually came out with the first hip-hop record.
Okay.
You know, then. But
so do you rap? Or were you singing?
I was DJing. I was actually DJing and producing.
Really?
Yeah, DJing and producing at that time.
Okay.
The two rappers were Snoop, Sir Snoopy, and Dallas D.
Okay.
They were the one that were doing that. It was called Funky Deaf Rhymes.
You can tell that was back in the day, right?
Back in the day.
Funky Deaf.
Yeah, Funky Deaf. So we had we met through Mike Stengler, which was the owner of Twilight Records.
Okay.
Because they had a big battle at the time between Uche and Dr. Rock. And I was only like 14 years old at the time, so I snuck behind the building and actually hid in between all the wood and everything.
Right.
I wanted to meet
trying to lay my muscle down.
Yeah, trying to get it. And so when I did that, anyway, Rock found me. He said, "Man, what are you doing back there, kid? What, you could get bit?" I said, "Man, I just want to meet you." So after I met him, he pulled me up on stage and I met him, and then we started going to K104.
Right.
Where me and not knowing that K104 was actually joined with Soul 73. I didn't know they were in the same building.
KKDA AM.
Yeah, but I was DJing. Rock let me DJ for a minute,
Right.
and he said, I told him, I said, "Man,
So your dad was down the hall.
my mom told me that my dad was a DJ." Yeah. He said, "Well, what's his name?" I said, "Man," she said, "Cousin Lenny or something like that."
Right.
He said, "Stop lying to you, ho."
Yeah.
I said, "Man, you gotta lie about my daddy, man."
Already, yeah.
So he went next door, came back, he was crying.
Yeah.
He was crying like a baby. He said, "Man, Terry," he said, "your daddy is next door."
Yeah.
You know? And so he introduced me to my father.
Wow.
Yeah. Show how God works.
And you was 14?
Yeah, I was 14 years old at that time. And he introduced me, and so then after that, me and Dr. Rock started hanging. So then he went to, and he met DOC, which was Doc T.
Yeah.
And Doc T and him became good friends and everything. And then we released Feel Fresh Crew.
I remember Feel Fresh Crew, baby.
Yeah,
way back in the game.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
I just feel like I'm in the twilight. I don't know who y'all talking about.
Yeah.
Jackie was a porch dog.
Oh,
Jackie couldn't stop with the big dog.
already.
No, it wasn't that I couldn't.
House
I
mouse.
chose to stay in the house.
So, you know.
Did you chain to the bed? Go ahead, T-Lo.
Well, y'all talk.
Crazy.
Just say, you guys are great together.
Well, thank you, sir.
Yeah, I love
Thank
this.
you.
I mean, your chemistry is beautiful.
Well, we trying.
You know?
We just be trying to lay it down. So what got you out of that lifestyle? I mean, how long were you involved with Death Row Records and going around with concerts and hanging out at different events?
Yeah.
What made you get out of that?
Well, actually, once I met with DOC, we went, people don't know that when DOC went to Los Angeles,
Right.
Funky Enough Records was actually Dr. Dre and DOC.
Oh, okay.
Suge had nothing to do with it.
Right,
Suge was
right.
actually just a bodyguard.
Right, at the time. I
At that
remember
time.
Yeah.
And so some things happened, and he took over the name and then became Death Row. Well, we went to California to become signed to Funky Enough. And we, DOC and Dre and Suge signed us. Suge actually signed us to Funky Enough.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, me and the guy named that wrote, his name was Mario Lavelle. Call him Chocolate. He wrote Ice Baby.
I was just about to ask you that. Wasn't Vanilla Ice around during that time when you guys was laying it down and getting
Now I
out there?
remember Vanilla
Yeah.
Ice.
Oh, I know you remember that.
Yeah, he was around.
All the whack stuff you remember.
I used to talk to one of his
for real.
dancers. Shut up.
You shut
He
up.
was one of dance.
Briefly. I can't even remember what his name was now.
Anyway,
That's how brief he was.
Yeah.
so in that lifestyle, I mean, what was it about it that you truly loved, and what is it about it that you kind of hated?
I mean, what I love the experience. You know, I learned a lot.
Right.
Man, especially when I went there, I was 16. I was 16 years old then, and I just learned I had to grow up fast, man.
Right.
You know, I survived.
Yeah.
It wasn't too many of us that survived that.
Right.
You know, I wasn't one of them that slept on the cots and stayed in,
Right.
in the house and
Pay your
a
dues.
lot of them, a lot of them pay more than due.
Right.
You know? But it was a blessing, man, because I learned. Me and Suge never had any altercations. He used to call me his little brother.
Right.
And me and him was tight. And the things that he used to do, I like, man, what are you doing? You know, and he, oh no, such and such. But we had to understand it.
Right.
You know.
So
and
what did you hate about it the most? I mean, whatever facet of it.
that it didn't become what it could have been.
Yeah.
That all the talent that came through, a lot of people just don't know about. A lot of them came through and they were so talented, man.
Right.
I mean, they were so gifted. I mean, from girls to to boys.
And you'll just never hear about them again.
You never will.
Yeah.
You never will. They had so much music that they done that's just lost.
So the author of this book, Have Gun, Will Travel, The Spectacular Rise and Violent Fall of Death Row Records, Ronan Rowe. Who was he and what part did he play?
Ronan Rowe was actually, I guess he got him an investigative reporter.
In Chicago, we call that a snitch. Yeah. So he was doing the investigative reporter thing.
Yeah, I guess that's what you call it, dude.
Man, that's what that is. Yeah. Big round of applause for Mr. C.W. Whitaker and T-Lo. Right. Don't forget to go to BPEN, that's Black Premier Entertainment Network.
What channel again?
That is on channel 30.8 here in Dallas-Fort Worth, on your regular TV channel. All right? Please go out and support. Please go out and support. Okay? You'll go on to Facebook and you'll comment and support a cat in a birthday hat. All right? Here's something that's for you. And if you want to get on, if you want to advertise your business or service, if you have a little show you might perhaps like to do yourself, okay, the costs are very reasonable. All you have to do is contact Mr. C.W. Whitaker. They still saying that his title is nothing but a
Is there a specific phone number that they need to call? Or do they need
and you can find all of that on the website if you just go to bpentv.us. Coming up, it's the Jackie O Entertainment Report. It's the bangingest thing on your internet. Pray until something happens. God always provides. At PushGapRadio.com, the power is in the name.
469-569-1654 is the number.
Say it again.
469-569-1654.
That's to get in contact with Mr. C.W. Whitaker to be on BPEN. Dallas, baby.
All day long.